So if we look at it, what happens when you hire people? It's like, and I'm sure a lot of you, who's hired people in here? Or who hasn't hired people? So you've probably been through this scenario. So you have a person comes to you, like this girl, she looks great. Although the projector's not doing much for her. She looks great. And she looks really productive, and she says all the right things in the interview, and she has a good resume, and she checks out okay, and you hire her, and as you suspect, she goes through and she creates good results for the organisation. And then this guy comes along, he looks pretty damn good. In actual fact, you're really confident with this guy, and you even go home to your wife or husband and say, honey, let's book that trip. I've finally found the person that's going to make some time for me. And you put this guy on, and he produces nothing. And then, you're hiring again, and you're really desperate, and you can't get anyone that looks good to come along, so you get this girl who doesn't look so good, and you put her on, and exactly as you suspect, 3 weeks later you put her off. And then this other guy comes along, and you're desperate again, and there's no one else. You put this guy on and you keep a close eye on him because you know this guy is just going to be a problem, but he ends up actually being your most productive staff member. And we look at this representation, and it's like, what do we learn from it?
Can't tell from looks.
Yeah, for sure there's something more we need to know about hiring. And what we want to be able to do is keep our hiring in this area. These are the sort of guys we want to be hiring. And out of these two, it's like, which one do you think would come in and be more cost effective or maybe cheaper to hire? Yeah, this guy here, because it's like, he's actually probably being rejected from jobs. And so when you give him a job, he's like, quite happy to take, quite a low wage compared to, say, this girl who looks great and has all the credentials and all the nice resume. And, this girl could actually be 2 to 3 times more expensive than this guy. And it doesn't mean we're going to teach you how to rip people off. But it's like, what it does mean is you can bring someone in a lot cheaper, which means your investment to get that area running is a lot less, and it gives you a lot more room to reward people when they do a good job. And out of these two, it's like, which one do you think is more dangerous? Yeah, this guy here. See this girl, you bring her in, she looks pretty bad. And so every day you come in, you're going, how's she going? And you're watching her, and you're looking for results, and you're looking at the effects. And of course, very quickly, you'd already decided when you hired her, she's probably going to work, so it's easy just to move her on. This guy, he's able to really bluff you in the interview. So you go and put him and you make him your state manager in in New South Wales. And he gets up there and, he starts running it, and it's like, in fact, things drop off a little bit. And so 2 months later you go up and see him and you go, hey, what's happening? And he goes, well, what we need is if I had 2 more staff, I could really make this branch rock. And of course you go, okay. Because, you know the guy... the guy's going to actually can do the job, and he's very confident, so you give him 2 more staff. But 6 months passes and there's been no change. So you go back up there and you go, hey, what's happening here? Well, you know what, we're really pumping, we've got all this stuff just ready to go. This is going to be like an unbelievable office, so I'm going to make you so much money. He goes, what I need now though, if we could do this $150,000 TV campaign, you watch, we're just going to rock. So this guy is now starting to cost you a lot of money. And so you say, okay. And that doesn't work. So now you're confused because you've hired this really competent guy. Everything he tells you makes sense. Okay, but you're getting no value out of him. In actual fact now, a year later, you've paid his wage, the wage of 2 more staff and a TV campaign, and it's like he's cost you about $700,000. And so now you decide, I better go up and spend 2 months with him and help him. Because of course you can't sack the guy because you're the one that hired him and told everybody how great he's going to be. And so now you waste 2 months and a whole bunch more money, and you lose whatever opportunity you would have created in your own office, only to find out that the guy's absolutely useless, been lying to you and bullshitting to you, and then just one day you don't see him again. And that's if you're lucky enough that you can do it in the first year to 14 months. Some of these guys can be your right-hand man for 10 years. And this is why these are the guys we've got to be really careful of and know quickly, you know, what's happening around them.